Oh, good evening. I thought I'd come back and talk to you. My husband, he went to sleep on me, so I said, "Well, let me go talk to my subscribers over here, my followers over here on YouTube." And I said, "I have a lot to talk about." I sure do. And the thing is that I'm just staying up on watching and waiting. We have a lot going on, of course, here in the United States of America. This is history for us. And just making sure that I keep American people aware, aware, and to give you the strength you need, so you can know that God is watching over you. God is watching over this nation. You might not see him, but he's around. And the reason I say he's around and he's watching over the nation, because all of these things that we're seeing that popping up out of hidden sight, okay, is starting to be unveiled. It's all starting to be unveiled. We see what's going on in the Smithsonian Museum. Those are the things that has been damaging our children, been destroying their minds and destroying life in general. That's too much for children to handle. That's not for children to really understand right now. And I'm sorry, and I think that was very ignorant of them to even think about putting exhibits out there like that when it's supposed to be Smithsonian Natural Museum of Natural History is a history of this country, and it's just tell the story, like I said in the previous video, of the lives of the American people from how we developed in civilization and how we developed to become such a strong, powerful nation. To give that to people that want to come and read our story. But other than that, it's not supposed to be all of that kind of, crazy, sick stuff, sexual, explicit, whatever stuff on its display. Also, like I shared the story about what our soldiers represent in America is saying things that are in heaven. You have the angels, the soldiers. They're fighting to keep this wicked stuff out of this country, away from especially young children, harm to children. We have, I think, in the saints in the Catholic Church. For every saint, there's everybody got a saint, right? Like mostly Italian people do it. I don't know too much about Irish with the saints, but I know they the very ones who was deeply into the Catholic Roman Catholic faith. The people from that culture, that's their religion, and I think the Saint Michael's is known to be the one to fight the devil off of the children. When you learn about Saint Anthony, Saint Michael's, they have a meaning behind every angel to watch over them for whatever reasons. When they get there, go through their communion and they holy baptisms and stuff, when they christenings, when they children and stuff, and then they got to go through I forgot what they call it when they get their names. Is there anybody in here Catholic? Could you put it in the chat? When everybody get to choose, they get to choose their saint. And remember the Catholic, they always used to put the little necklace on their babies, their children, and everything when they get christened, and a little cross to let them know that Christ is watching over them and that they are angels, little small angels, whatever, are watching over them. That was very much practiced a lot in the Catholic religion, and people don't stray the way. They got crazy because they were very strict about that. They were very faithful about that. And see, these are the why these things are happening in the United States. People ran away from the true faith, and now their lives are under attack. They under attack, spiritually under attack now. You can't turn away from the God of the Bible, or else you'll find yourself being attacked by these demons in the world. And that's exactly what's happening. These are demons. These are people that's coming to attack your spirit because this is who they are from their world. They don't serve the God of the Bible like you do. That's why you got to stay in that word. It's your protection. The sword. Like I see the soldier in this graphic that I'm holding. He's holding the sword and he's bowed down, and the flag has got the drape flag of the American flag over the cross, because that's what we fight for over here. That's what they fight for. Go all over the world to try to rescue people from the devil. And our soldiers, and some of them are dying in the battle because they not substance is not fed with the word. This ain't no always it's not going to always be, oh, you just going to be sitting there looking at a computer or whatever. No, you got to get out there in the battlefield sometimes to go rescue either other soldiers, or you got to go in that battlefield to rescue innocent lives that'll be in captivity by the devil. And the devil is these wicked, evil people that think they're going to try to come here and conquer America. And that ain't going to happen because, like I said, America, God's name is all over this land and He watches over this nation. And if He didn't, He wouldn't be pouring into me so I could bring you this message. And that's why I keep telling you, don't pay attention. What you see outside in the world, God already got this covered. You see Mandani sitting there thinking he taking over like he's some big chief in the United States of America. God is already watching, already saw, we already called him out. People see him. We see him, but we got to keep the people who live there under control. That it don't get out of control, that people don't start doing nothing crazy to each other out there. We just got to keep the public calm. They know, they see this man. Come on now. They see this man. They know who he is. They know he's not serious about his role as no mayor. They know what he came to do. They see him. But you got to keep the public calm. America knows how to fight these battles. They had it all. That's what made America so great. That's why we move in that scale. Like we on the scale, right? We got immigrants, and then you got the immigrants, right, on the scale, and then you got the Americans that's on the scale. American first and the immigrants. And what's happening now is that America was falling down with these damn immigrants because they don't share our values. And when we talk about sharing our values, they don't want to share the story of America with us. They don't understand that this is a valuable jewel. That's our treasures, is our history, is our treasures to us. Our ancestors, whether our history was good or bad, it always wasn't bad. There was always a good ending story to our history. And these people are just trying to come in, and they only in America because we didn't build these businesses in America that we seeing disappearing away from us and going away from our children and everything. We don't see these things in anymore, and they slowly but surely being stripped away from us. Why? Because whoever it is, they did an evil thing to sell out the American story to other nations. These businesses did not were not developed through a money franchise thing, whatever you want to call it. These things were developed to be a story to America because McDonald's was a childhood story, and people don't understand behind that life of the story of McDonald's. It was a child friendly restaurant for fun days with children, with your kids. Birthday parties, Ronald McDonald the Clown, the Grimmage, and all the little characters there and everything. And then you had little places for kids to play. Kids like little small things like that to remember. They used to come to McDonald's during the season of Halloween and pick up the coupons for a free. People will buy the coupons and give them out for Halloween and give to the children to go trick or treat and then say to a McDonald's when the parents would sometimes go on trips and they have their little McDonald coupons. They could use those for their little treats, like an ice cream cone, an apple pie, or an apple pie, ice cream cone, or a shake, whatever, or a hamburger, a burger. We don't see those things anymore. We don't see those promotions anymore. We don't see none of that anymore. All we see is a bunch of people coming here to work on those jobs that don't barely can speak English, don't understand the history behind the story of McDonald's, turning it into just a business of making their money. Food or high, the burgers. No, McDonald's burgers shouldn't be that high. We need to take back the value of American lifestyle, and we need to take back our businesses that were here created in America, and we can do just fine all by ourselves. We don't need your help. We don't need to partner with you, and McDonald's will be McDonald's again, and things will start all over again, and we could do what it was truly built to be. And it shouldn't be so hard to bring back McDonald's, to make it back child friendly, to make the things back in that story of the children childhood you had, and for our children to also enjoy those childhood memories as well. Just like our children need to enjoy going roller skating again. Our kids need to be in roller rinks. We need to be doing roller rinks around. Places for children to go for their summer, for their fun and their friends and things of that activity. Kids could go roller skating. Parents could drop them off at the skate key, wherever, and pick them up. If that's what you want to do for your kids to have a Saturday out roller skating with their friends and go get a snack at McDonald's afterwards. We need to bring back childhood friendly places for our children to go and be safe. We don't need these immigrants in our story because they don't share our history. And we should stop compromising with these people. And God is on our side in every way. Because this is the land and the nation He watch over. We don't even have to go through all of this killing and shooting and powering them out. They can just leave on their own. But if they try any stupid thing, then God give you every right to have use self defense. They ain't got no business in your country trying to take over nothing. Time for them to go home and go build their own country and have their own holidays and terrorize their own people over there. Don't come over here terrorizing us Americans. That's why I said I got the soldier who is kneeling down with his sword and here bowing down to the Lord, okay, being obedient to God. That's the stand. And then the soldier, this cross behind him, is of course the cross and the American flag behind him, because that's the flag that we died for, the bloodstained banner, and that bloodstained banner is Jesus Christ. Because this is what America stands for, whether these fools know it or not. They better recognize, because everything, they don't even read our Bible because they mean nothing but wickedness. See, they about religion. We about righteousness. Well, you can go ahead and say what you want to say. But you over here, right? You over here. But anyway, like I said, we fight for righteousness. They fight for religion. No, we deal with righteousness. Point blank, period. The order to fight for we don't even do religion. And that's what Christ was talking about. We ain't about religion. We about righteousness. How about that? And a relationship with Him. I already explained what righteousness means. Y'all in our country using our land, and came like you were supposed to be a friend, but you the enemy. So right now and everything, we stand in our grounds. And if you try any stupid thing, you just gonna find out. That's it. We fight for righteousness. Y'all fight for religion. We do righteousness over here, boo. This is what we telling you, stupid Iranian, sick ass so and so's. I don't want to curse too much. I'm trying to get, but this, y'all bring this kind of stuff out of people because that's the evil that comes along with your religion. But we, like I said, we don't fight religion. We do righteousness. We don't do religion wars. Y'all do religion wars and trying to bring that shit over here to the United States of America and trying to conquer all over the world with your wickedness. But over here, we are ready. We are prayed up. We are prayed up. We are an ambassador for Christ. So y'all come on and mess with us. Well, you could keep saying no one owns land. Like I said, this land belongs to God, right? And we watch over it. He watch over this nation. And we are supposed to make sure we take care of the land. So you go ahead and figure it out. No one owns the land. We watch over this land for the Lord. We ain't bringing y'all nasty, dirty God over here, over the people over here. This is God's land. And we watch over it. We his servants. How about that? Y'all got your own dirty, stinking, dirty third world country to go in and build your history over there and leave us alone. Y'all trying to come over here and take something that don't belong to y'all. You, them nasty ass Chinese, all of y'all. Stop overpopulating. Maybe y'all could stay in your own country and be happy. Stop overpopulating. Y'all so evil. We're Western. Y'all need to stay in y'all continent. This is the land that worships in the name of the God of the Bible, and ain't none of y'all none of his children. And y'all coming over here trying to steal and rob from her. And guess what? Y'all gonna be right booted on out of here, okay? And only people that's gonna get harmed in this fight is people that are on your side, and people that think like you guys and wanted to agree and touch and agree with your ideology. So we already know people from God's people be covered in the blood, and only people gonna be harmed is the people that ain't paying attention to this message. Okay? Those are the ones who just gonna get caught up in it. Not the ones who are listening to this message because they covered by the blood of Jesus, because this is who I'm getting the message from. And those who are not and those who listening to your ideology are gonna be the ones who are gonna get jacked, caught off guards. Those, just like I was just saying to my husband, I said, you know what? I'm not getting emotionally attached to this Mississippi burning shit. You know what happened over there. I'm sorry that young man died the way he died, and it's really, really heartbreaking, of course, especially more for his parents, because they probably feel guilty on the fact that they never studied American history. And they said, what people mean by American history? Mississippi has always been known for the culture of that type of nature, of those type of crimes or things of such things as that happen. And most people that lived and grew up in Mississippi knows that. It's especially the black people in Mississippi. They know there's certain places they just don't mess around with doing. I mean, they know these white. They know the white neighbors. They know their white culture out there better than anybody can tell them. And that's why you'll see them. They'll probably work together down there. They'll probably know each other down there and the whole nine. They probably all that. But there's just certain things they just don't actually. I mean, there's certain things they would do. They would go out with them on certain outing events and holiday events, but they'll do it in a certain kind of way. They'll probably stop by, bring a pie, hey, how you doing, whatever, and they go about their business. They don't go to no things like beaches and pool parties or whatever, but they'll probably come to a barbecue in a certain kind of way in their culture as far as like interacting with white neighbors and white friends. They don't let their kids go to pool parties and all that other shit. The nature and the some things that are just the history down there will keep them from those things. Those are boundaries. You understand? There's a certain boundaries that are taught to Southerners. They teach their children. From the time they coming up, they teach their children their history and their story, so they know what to do and what not to do. Places they would go and places they will not go around white culture, because they grew up in the South and they know the story. Mississippi burning. They know about those southern trees. They know about those certain history of certain communities and how they keep it and how they going to continue to try to keep it. That they pass it down the bloodline. And if you step across those boundaries with them, then you actually moved in to the fact to be the sacrifice. Okay, I'm just gonna say it as that. When you learn about those southern trees and you learn about Mississippi burning, and we all know, well, some of us know American history. I didn't grow up in the South, but I know the stories. I know the stories of the South, especially down in the South, like Mississippi and places like Alabama. Mississippi and Alabama, you go through any of the stories of history through those times, most of it came from the South, like Mississippi and Alabama are the two most states known for black lynching in the South. That's why I say it's so important for people to know American history, because there's some places that just have a history and it's still there and it's still around, and some people just don't know about it. Just like that land in Texas and everything, you can't just come moving off on people's land. There are spirits on those land that will rise up and boo, boo, boo you out of here. That's the reason why we have a Halloween, to remind people that the living can be dead and the dead could be living. The living could be dead. You see ghosts. You see people walking around like zombies. The zombies are living, but they're dead. Okay, so that's Halloween, talking about some of the spirits in the world that we live in. They come out during Halloween and certain times of the year, especially seasons like harvest. They used to use the scarecrows and everything out there during the farmers did it to scare off some of the crops, scare off certain pests from the crops or whatever. They used to use that instead for them to destroy their crops. You know, the human mind is so amazing. The things that God can tell it to do. Um, how to do things for to protect you, things to do to protect crops, things to do to care for animals, things to do for whatever. God can give men all kind of amazing imaginations that can be put to work and bring it to life. How God is so amazing. But like I said, with these so-called foreigners that come to live in the United States of America, and it's not really us telling you to leave, it's God telling you it's time for y'all to leave these people, get off these people's land, and go back to your own land, because I gave everybody their own land. They own everything. Your own religion, if that's what you want. Instead of worshiping Him, He give you choices. And your choice was Allah. Ours was Him, the God of the Bible. So what you mad about? You know, go on over back on to your country and go handle your problems over there that you need to start building up, and maybe even opening up some ministries there and learning about Jesus Christ, so y'all can have a better world to live in. And y'all don't have to keep running and going and jumping in everybody else's country and terrorizing other people for what they believe in. Hello. Anyway, I said the God that we serve, you know, the God of the Bible. I said the ideology of Sharia law will not work in America. Our nation is built on the Constitution. As a Christian, I believe this land is covered in the blood of Jesus Christ. They don't understand what makes this nation so strong. America's greatest strength is not just her military wealth or influence, it is the freedoms protected by our Constitution. And for many of us, our faith in God, we should never trade away the values and liberties that have shaped this nation. Blessed is the nation who God is the Lord, and the people whom He hath chosen for His own inheritance. And that's in Psalms 33 and 12. Do y'all hear that? And I said, and also stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith Christ hath made us free. Galatians 5 and 1. Do you hear that one? You know, when you don't got no Jesus in your life, you just so miserable and you just a hater. When you got Jesus, you can have joy, joy, joy down in your soul, because that's what Jesus does. He brings you nothing but joy. love, peace, happiness abundantly. But when you living around this Allah shit, this religion, and not having a relationship with Christ, you living in a nothing but a hell. Wanting to harm other people just because they don't believe in your Allah. Going around in other people's country, terrorizing people, trying to see with America, it was never about the money, boo. It's always just sharing the American story. And that's why we taking America back. That's right. Take back all those little franchises and everything that y'all got going on in America. Those are big franchises is going to be American franchises again, and they're not going to be for sale with any of y'all. And we're going to bring back Sears, and we're going to bring back Woolworths, and we're going to bring back a lot of things we enjoyed when we were children, so our children can enjoy it too. How about that? So with that being said, I'm going to say good night, everybody. I love you, and hope I'll be able to talk to you again tomorrow, if God's willing. You'll have a good one. God bless. Peace.